Hi everybody, this is a blue and red spells-based deck. We're trying to make copies of spells, we're trying to cast a little Blue Sun's Twilight and steal some things. I will admit I started off with 4 copies of this card, and this did go down steadily as we played, since you do occasionally run into opponents who don't play all that many creatures, or really don't play any creatures we want to steal. So this came down a little bit, and we threw some stuff in the sideboard, thanks to Invasion of Arcavios, so we can pull one out of there if we need to, along with some burn, some extra turn spells, and some other utility things. We're running Ovika Enigma Goliath, a nice annoying threat for our opponents, and then a combination of Bombardment, Chandra Hope's Beacon, and Mindsplice Apparatus to play well with all of our spells, help us get free copies of stuff over and over. So let's go see some games with this deck over on the ranked standard ladder. All right. Starting it off here, we're trying to copy some spells, cast some Blue Suns, get some things out of the sideboard. Let's go ahead and lay down our Xander's Lounge. Japanese is a little rusty. What's that? Takashun? Unfamiliar with that. Opponent looks to be on black and white so far. So what could that be? Black White Troll with Tolvada, my personal favorite. Phyrexians, could be Mites, could be Incubators. Okay, sort of mid-rangey so far. We've got Anointed Peacekeeper coming down. Names Lightning Strike out of our hand. Well, they got a peek at the rest of it. Let's go ahead and Impulse. I think we take Bombardment here. Already got plenty of lands. Don't really need the Celestus. Big score. Great draw off the top as well. Okay, opponent gets in with the Peacekeeper. Drops us to 17. Let's go ahead and big score then. We'll get rid of this Lightning Strike that is very expensive. We get to play with fire and a Chandra. And Mindsplice the draw. Let's go ahead and get Bombardment down. Not sure if we need to play with fire now. It's a 30% chance of big score, which would let us... Well, we don't even have an instant to cast on the next turn unless we draw it with the big score that we might not even get. Let's just pass it on over. Kind of surprised opponent didn't flash in a Wanderer there. That's really why I thought they had 4 mana open. Opponent plays out their Aganjo, correctly seeing we don't really have any creatures to go with. Blitzes an Underdog out instead. Okay. Well, it's a 3-turn clock, so let's go ahead and play with fire the Underdog. Save a little life. And we get the big score anyway. All right, well, that's great. Let's discard Brotherhood's End, then. If it's just this vigilant creature, I think we'll be okay. Another Bombardment. All kinds of good things to play here. Well, Burn Down the House is a spell, but getting Chandra down, I think that's going to be a good investment in our future. Yeah, so we're gonna minus Chandra. I should have thought that one through a little more, because getting rid of this creature is great, but now they can blitz back their Underdog and attack down Chandra. However, if we just added mana or looked at a card, they would have been able to do the same play anyway, since she would have been at 6 loyalty. So probably not ideal. Got too excited by the prospect of copying a Blue Sun's Twilight. That happens occasionally. I remember one comment I got from somebody I played against, and they found me on Twitter, I think it was. Let's do some Bombardment activation. And they were like, why didn't you just finish the game when you had the opportunity? I was like, what? So I went back and I looked at the video, and I was like, oh, I am so sorry. I was distracted by, like, the exciting thing. I was not trying to be rude there. We get in for 3. Big score gives us some tokens here. Some nice lightning strikes. Might be able to finish off this game with some burn. Surprised opponent hasn't played like a bigger creature yet. Would love to steal and copy something with Blue Sun. Opponent with the Farewell. Let's go ahead and lightning strike their face. Get one more use out of Bombardment before everything disappears. We'll throw another Play with Fire at them. Big score while we can. Let's get rid of... yeah, Lightning Strike, I guess. We see Ovika on the top. That's a fun way to finish a game. Yeah, let's go for it. All right, Lightning Strike brings them to 5. Farewell. Exiling everything but graveyards? Why? All right, well, let's see. Let's go Bombardment. They left our graveyard intact. We can start building things back up anyway. Oh, we had Chandra. Oh, God. Speaking of distractions, we had Chandra to finish the game at 5. I'm sorry, opponent. This is another... I can't talk and play at the same time. It's clearly one of my weaknesses. We're going to Chandra and finish this one off. -5. There we go. Good game. All right. We're having another sip of coffee and trying some more Magic here. Got a C double in hand. Great thing to dump early for Arcane Bombardment. You can discard it with a big score or thrill a possibility if that's what you're playing. And then bring it up later on. It's a very situational card. It feels a lot like a counterspell, so it's really hard to wait for the right opportunity to use it, especially if you need your opponent to have 8 cards in their graveyard to use both modes. So you're better off just doing other things, going along with your other game plan, and then picking that up as a bonus later on. Opponents on blue-black. We've got a tenacious underdog on their side of the table. Opponent must have had to let the cat back in or something. We draw Lightning Strike. I'm going to play out this Otawara so we can big score on time. All right. Land number 3 for our opponent. Tenacious Underdog brings us to 14. Graveyard Trespasser, longtime enemy of Bombardment. We could copy it, but that doesn't really help. Yep, let's let it resolve. Nothing in our graveyard yet. Let's pitch C double. We'll need to get rid of this. Let's go ahead and burn down the house and clear this board. And I think we'll be on time. Let's see, 1, 2... Yep, if we play this land next turn, we can Bombardment and Lightning Strike, which is good because our opponent has another Graveyard Trespasser. Eats the C double right out of our graveyard. So annoying that they can eat the best thing. An opponent sees what's going on. Okay, good game. All right. Well, I like to think that wins like that are because they fear the Arcane Bombardment, but I know I'm just deluding myself. We are up against what looks like mono white. Recruitment Officer, the play. Coppercoat Vanguard. Let's go ahead and Fading Hope this creature then, before it gets warded. Bombardment, we really need some lands, so I'm going to put that on the bottom. Shivan Reef here. We might be in the place where we have to impulse for land number 4 just to guarantee that we keep things moving along. Opponent's got a Recruitment Officer and an Intrepid Adversary that they can't kick. We also don't have enough mana for our board wipe, and we could go looking for Brotherhood's End. Let's see what we can find. All right, just a land. None of the other stuff needed right now. Okay, well, this turn's going to hurt, but we've got big score into a burn down the house turn, which I think should be pretty good against a deck like this. Hopeful Initiate. Well, that needs to die as well. Skrelv also needs to go. Okay, so we're going to take a bunch here. We drop down to 9. Let's big score. C double. The discard, we draw Lounge. And an untapped mountain. All right, let's burn down the house then. Okay. That's good. I've had I've had the experience where, what is it, Surge of Salvation is like the last card in our opponent's hand, and it is totally annoying. Let's see. So Skrelv and Brutal Cathar comes down. They know we don't have any creatures. Let's go for Bombardment. And I think it's play with fire here. We need to get rid of Skrelv because Skrelv kind of blanks a lot of our instant removal, although we can't overwhelm it eventually. And let's burn down the house as well on Devils. Since this Cathar is not getting through that, we'll just hold tight for just a second. Hope we'll initiate the draw for our opponent here. Attacks with the Cathar. I will easily block that, and we'll point 1 damage right back at the Cathar. Finish that guy off. All right, well, Impulse a great draw, but we could just Lightning Strike. We need to get rid of this thing. I can't wait around for them to put counters on it. We get Impulse out of the grave anyway. Let's make some more Devils with this burn down the house. Impulse, let's pick up a Chandra. It's going to be great for finding more stuff to do. And we've got an Impulse ready for our opponent's turn here as we attack them down with 5 Devils, bringing them down to 19. Play a little lounge here, get some mana going. Yep, it's a lot, opponent. Good game. All right, opponent's going first. We don't have anything to do until turn 4 with that hand, so it's got to be a mulligan. We're going to put Ovika back since that's a late game play. Oh, the Arena Shuffler. So we've got, at least we drew a Lightning Strike here. I've been mulliganing a lot lately with mono red in mind. It's like if our opponent comes out blazing out of the gate, are we going to be able to make it to turn 4? It's been helpful. All right, we'll get land number 3 down. Opponent not doing much. That's a little worrisome. Let's play out Sokenzan. And we could either Apparatus or Big Score here. It's got a Cruelty of Gix. Well, have a look there, opponent. That's a good feeling right there. It's like you can see it, but you can't do anything about it. We're going to try Mindsplice here. Gives us a nice discount on most of our things. So they're going to be able to tutor next turn. What's in our sideboard here? Yep, red sun, blue sun. Let's just do it. We're going to go Invasion. And let's go to the sideboard. Let's just take a blue sun. So if they are mono black, they could have things in these following turns like Sheoldred, Junji, and the Apparatus might help us steal one of those. Okay, well, opponent's got a Sheoldred, just not the one I was thinking of. All right. Well, Big Score is essentially free, so let's go ahead and do that. Gives us a 2 treasure refund. Let's play out this tap land. And Sheoldred. Costs 5 to activate. Needs us to have 8 cards in the grave, and we are definitely shy of that. We'll just let it ride for the moment. Okay, opponent's got a pilfer for us. Takes our blue sun. Black discard decks, enemy of fun since, what, 30 years ago now? Liliana coming down, going to ask us to discard. We will discard the second Mindsplice in our hand. Sheoldred hits us for 4, drops us to 13. We probably should have fired off that blue sun while we had the chance, but Copying a legendary, not the greatest feeling in the world. All right, Mindsplice ticks up. We got a Chandra off that impulse. I'm finally including Monumental Facade in this deck at the suggestion of many of my commenters. Thank you so much. And just trying to think of the order which we can do things here. Let's see, we got 3 mana. It's not Bombardment, so it's a little bit different. Let's see. Let's go Lightning Strike on Sheoldred. Double that up on Sheoldred with Chandra. And then we can do a little minus with Chandra herself. Do 4 to Lily and 4 to our Invasion. All right. So I don't often flip Invasion. And I realized I was very unfamiliar with the backside since I hadn't had a chance to flip it over. But fits right in a deck where we want to be copying things, and not just pulling them out of the graveyard with Bombardment. Let's take a look with Chandra here, just to land off the top, so we need to keep things moving. Choice between Big Score, C Double, and Thirst. Opponent Gix is commanded back their Sheoldred. Let's do Big Score. We'll discard this Coast. Chandra's going to copy it, which is amazing. We get Brotherhood's End. Which doesn't hit battles. Keeping my mana open. Should probably be using this Monumental Facade, but we've already got a good chunk of counters. We can pretty much do whatever we want with that Mindsplice. Let's see. Let's discard the Brotherhood's End. Double up on Big Score before Chandra gets taken care of here. All right. There's a C double. Nothing on our opponent's board to get rid of, though. Oh, and of course they have the land. But they don't replay Sheoldred. Okay. All right, let's cycle this Lounge. And draw for the turn here. All right, let's finally put a counter on the Mindsplice Apparatus. Let's Big Score, try to find something to do here. Another Lightning Strike. All right, lots of mana here. Lots of mana. Opponent really holding on to that Sheoldred, too. Okay. Probably thinking we don't have a way to finish them off, which I suppose is partially true at this point. We've got some burn spells, and we're waiting for them to play a good creature so we can copy it. Well, we do have this Lightning Strike here, so let's try to flip this over. Great. It's an enchantment. When you cast an instant or sorcery from your hand, you may copy it. Sounds great. And we have a ton of mana. An opponent's still not doing much. Is there any way that we can do something good here? Aha, yes. Okay. No, that was a big oversight. We're going to Otawara the Invasion back to my hand. Man, I didn't even get to use that. Invasion's going to help us win in a different way, though. We're going to go Invasion. That's going to leave us... Yeah, I think we're fine. We got 9 counters on Mindsplice, 12 treasures. Let's go looking at the sideboard here, because there's one great thing to do with a lot of mana, and it's a light up the night for your opponent's life total. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, I think we got it. We can afford a bit more than their life total, just in case they can gain any life. And fantastic. We got there. Good game. All right. Opponent going first again. Usually a bit tricky, but decent hand. We're going to start off with a mountain. Opponent's on the mono green, goes with Azusa. Has the land for it. Good. Whenever I play that card, I never have the additional land to play. Just my luck. Opponent gains a little life. Here on turn 4, another Azusa. But no land. That's more like it, opponent. Now you're playing Magic my way. Okay, first one flips over. They gain another 3. Opponent with a Bushwhack looking for another forest. Sure thing, sure thing. Well, I think Blue Sun's probably the best here. So we do have Mindsplice. It's going to ramp up a little bit if we can get that to stick. So we're going to play Otawara this turn. All this ramping has me very nervous about what's going to come out on the top end. And Blue Sun, if we can steal and copy like a Titan of Industry or something big. Oh, Glorious Sunrise from the opponent. I love that card, but that was unexpected. Huh. Well, I love that card so much. We're going to C double, and we're going to copy that spell. So that lets us get our own copy, basically. All right. So yeah, we get our weird tokeny enchantment version over here. Opponent looking at that too, like, what did that card just do? We draw a Bombardment off the top. We're going to play this Lounge. Okay, well, now's where the math gets tricky, because once we go to combat is when Sunrise triggers. We're just going to gain some life here and pass it. I want to get this Apparatus down rather than try to slam an early Bombardment. Just to help out with the Blue Sun. Topiary Stomper. Okay, still more ramp creatures, but no payoff yet. Another Stomper. All right, well, that's a sizable board. Like, you can win games that way too, especially if you've got Sunrise drawing you a card. If you've got big creatures on board, which is, I imagine, what you're going to do here. Nope. Okay, goes with the +1/+1. Makes these creatures bigger and tramply. Let's flash in our Mindsplice here at the end of their turn. Huh. So let's go to combat. Let's make a land produce 3 green. Let's go with that one so I can remember what it is. Oh, and it changes color too. That's wonderful. All right, so I want to tap that now. We'll use some of the colorless and wipe this board with Burn Down the House. Well, I guess we didn't need to do it that way, but it leaves me with mana to cast Lightning Strike on our opponent's turn. Nissa. Okay. Okay. Well, I could see that. So even if you've just got a bunch of ramp creatures and you ramp into Nissa, and if you've just got basic forests, yeah, you can just make a gigantic army, give them trample with the Sunrise. Okay. I like that. Opponent makes a 6/6 token here, and they've got Boseiju for our Mindsplice. Ouch. All right. Well, not the greatest, but at least we get a land out of the deal. Let's take a Lounge, since our mana is still a little weird. Opponent making their choice for Sunrise goes with Gain Life. If that were me, I'd be drawing cards, but it's not me. All right, we've got Blue Sun here. I think with the Sunrise, we can afford to pay 5. So let's get some mana. Or we can just go for Bombardment and try to get some value off and hope we just survive the next turn. Because what do we got? We got Brotherhood's End, play with Fire, Lightning Strike. All right, tell you what. We're going to need to do 2 things. We need to start piling on the value right now before we die. What is best? Let's go play with Fire on Nissa. Okay, C double. That's interesting. All right, we get to choose one. Well, that's going to help keep us alive. Let's copy their token. Decrease Nissa's loyalty. So Nissa's going to be able to get rid of an enchantment. But we need to get some value going out of this enchantment before it goes away. Speaking of going away, opponent's got a Titan of Industry for us. Looking at enchantments here. Yep, Bombardment. Definitely the right choice. I think we're going to activate it on its way out the door, though, because this C double should let us copy that Titan and at least help us keep up on the board. So let's go Lightning Strike on Nissa. We pick up Burn Down the House. Let's just take a look here at the board. All right, well, I'm trying to figure out which way to order this and what to do. So opponent's got some big things on board. I think we can copy this Titan. Question is what to do with this Burn Down the House. So let's go Burn Down the House here on damage. Can I take that back? I think that was wrong. All right, we're going to copy the Titan. And since Burn Down the House is coming, we're going to destroy an enchantment. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Shield counter doesn't matter. I guess we probably should have gained life there, but it's fine. It's all fine. Okay, Arcane Bombardment is down. I was trying to figure out a way if we could get their Rhino token out of it, but I don't think that's possible. Opponent attacking with their token. Is this a trick? I think we're okay with this. Let's just block here. We'll trade tokens. And so we each have a Titan. Opponent is up one Rhino, and we have our ill-gotten glorious sunrise. Do we have enough to copy the Titan? Oh, wait a minute. No. We got X has to be the casting cost. So, yeah, what we can do, let's add some mana. Let's not attack just yet. And then I think that makes sense, right? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, quick maths. All right, we've got just enough. Let's make sure we put the right number in. Let's copy that Titan. And steal that Titan. Didn't attack there so that we could still steal this Titan. Opponent's down to one card. Hopefully now we have overwhelming advantage. We're going to put a shield counter on our stolen Titan here. Vorinclex comes down. All right. Well, opponent gets some forests. Can't quite activate him just yet. And we've got 3 7/7s. Let's take a quick look with this Impulse. See if there's anything we can do to just poke this last few points of damage through. Opponent's up at 27, so I'm not sure about that. They've got a Rhino and a Vorinclex. All right, I think it's Arcane Bombardment then. And we'll play out this lounge. Let's see here. Vorinclex. So if that survives, they're going to be able to mill some things and flip something onto the board. We don't have enough for lethal here, but we may... Well, or do we? All right, let's just draw. You can see how paralyzing it is for someone who doesn't normally play with creatures. Oh, that would have been enough for lethal to force some blocks, but we're gonna just play it safe. We're gonna get in, attack with 2 of these Titans. Opponent double blocks one of them. Let's get rid of Vorinclex then. Yep, I think that makes sense. So knock our opponent down to 20. 1, 2, 3. Okay, just seeing if we have enough to do certain things here. We do not. I think we're 1 short to be able to do bombardment. But in a good spot. All right, and opponent scoops it up. Wow, good game.